And we're live.
I don't know if this will go anywhere, but it was very exciting to me. This is going to be a video. So for people that don't know, a vario is a machine that like tells you your altitude as it goes up and down, and people use it for flying around in a paraglider. Anyway, I was searching it, and it said best vario ever. It's a 2-minute video, and hang with me because there's a little bit of that, wait for it in this video. But check it out. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. I thought it was amazingly cool. We'll see if it goes anywhere as a topic. Ready, set, play. So what we've got here is a paraglider guy. He's like a paramotorist, but he doesn't have a motor, and instead he jumps off the side of a hill. And above him, there's a... Does anyone know their birds? Is this a hawk, a falcon, an eagle? Can we tell?
I can't tell.
No, it's some kind of a bird of prey. It's something like that. So yeah.
Certainly not a pigeon.
No.
So it turns out that this thing is his pet that's circling around. And he's going to launch in the next few seconds here, I'm sure of it. He's watching the pet, and the pet is like doing laps around, finding thermals, finding like columns of rising air. He uses this pet to help him find lift as he goes flying. And he's about to launch, but check this out. Did you see that thing hanging off the side of him? I thought it was a camera. It's directly into him now, so it's difficult to see. But he's about to fly away, and you'll get a much better view of it.
Wait, does he have a fan on his back?
No. He's just jumping into rising air. Now he's sideways. Do you see that thing sticking out the side?
I
thought it was
falconer's stick.
The bird's gonna land on that, eh?
Yeah, any second now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is
cool. Join me, bird.
Look, here comes the bird's in the upper right, and he comes, and he fucking joins him in the sky. This to me was the coolest thing.
That is pretty cool. Come, Prometheus.
I didn't mean to go full screen.
That is so fucking cool.
Yeah, and he leaves, and then he comes back and lands again.
That bird's like, my human is the best.
Yeah.
Man.
I saw this, and
I don't know. He's still a bird person, and we did rip them pretty hard last week.
Well, this is a different kind of bird person. Like, there was a guy who would come to my dad's place, and he was a falconer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what kind of bird it was he had, but he had these two falcons, whatever the fuck, and they had these like hoods on their heads so they couldn't see shit. And he had this special like glove that he wore, and they would perch on his arm, and he'd fucking send them after doves, and they would hit the dove mid-air so hard that feathers would poof out of them. And retrieve the doves back to this guy. And at the end of the day, he had like 4 doves, which is enough to eat.
That kind of. I was like, is dove soup a thing? I don't really know. Like,
dove is very tasty. So dove breast is like this very nice morsel of white meat that's better than chicken. It's really, really tasty, and doves are so like there's barely any bones in there. The way you like get the breast out of the dove. Once it's dead, of course, you literally just tear the skin off with your bare hands and then reach in and grab its breast and rip it from its body with your bare hands again. You're like, yeah, now I've got a dove breast, another one in the bag. And we would just make a whole bag of these things and then, of course, wash them and clean them and trim off any fat or anything.
Does
and
it taste
feathers
like
and stuff.
chicken?
So much better than chicken.
Good.
You put cream cheese in the middle, you wrap it around the cream cheese and then wrap bacon around that. And stick a toothpick through, maybe a little jalapeno on there, and you grill them. And they're called, I think they're called dove balls.
Part of me is like, no wonder it's better than chicken. I just put it on the George Foreman grill and add salt.
Okay, well then yours would not be that much better than chicken. It would be comparable to chicken. You'd say this was a very small chicken. Yeah. But yeah, doves are pretty good. I just can't see the value of how many of those doves did he have to feed to the birds? 2? Then, I guess, he didn't feed any of the doves to the birds that I saw. I think he had like some special like falcon food back home. Like, I don't know what these birds ate. They looked expensive and they were large and intimidating. His wife was there and she had like an old school. This is a long time ago. She had the cassette tape thing, like making the video. And at the end of it, she's like, oh yeah, here's a copy of our like greatest hits, and like gave us this VHS of like him hunting, hours of him hunting. It was so lame and fuzzy and hard to see.
Like
you
it was
mentioned
terrible.
the birds were intimidating, right? I swear I'm on a different page than you guys with regards to wild animals. And I'm not 100% sure I'm right, or even domesticated animals. I just don't see them. Better yet, through my head, it looks like you see them as these like ridiculously strong, super mythical beasts, right? Like Woody. Oh no. If you went up against a 60-pound herbivore, that thing would slaughter you. And I'm like, that thing slaughters flowers for a living. I would fuck it up, you know? That's what's happening in my head. I think it was 2 weeks ago something. Kyle was like, yeah, we used to regularly shoot cows with paintballs. They don't care. And I'm like, you know, to paraphrase Wings of Redemption, cows are people too. They feel it just like, you know, anybody else would.
Cows are walking around wearing leather gloves everywhere with
very
that
thick leather gloves.
Yeah, really thick with the
Well, you
fat
can make leather from our skin.
Yeah, but not if you could make leather from our skin, we would make human gloves. There's a reason we use cow skin for that. First of all,
there's a reason Buffalo Bill had to apply so much lotion there.
Hold on. The reason we don't make leather out of humans is that it's people's brothers and sisters and moms.
Puts the lotion in the basket.
If that were a superior glove, we'd see more of those around. We only saw that one psychopath who made them. It's thicker skin. That's why it's very thick. You know,
do you know
like
why
ours is like
serial killers don't use human leather to make like chaps for riding their motorcycles? It's because it's too thin. That's why they use it for things like lamps. Because if you tried to use leather on a lamp, it wouldn't shine through.
Because there'd be like identifying tattoos on the thigh.
No, if you want a lamp made out of some kind of skin, human skin, you know, that's why they do
Very
it.
nice.
The light still shines through. Yeah, can't do that with leather.
These are true things, Woody. I don't know if you're aware, but there's a serial killer who did these things. Like he had these human skin lampshades.
Let's look them up. There's pictures of human
let's
skin
not do that. We're having
let's do it
here. I was about to tell. We were about to go into like wild animal fighting, and
let's talk about that.
Like, all right, let's take like
then human skin
a 300-pound calf, which would come up to like this tall. Like
okay.
It could one shot kill you if it kicked you in the head. You would die.
I'm on board with that, right? This is a thing that walks around at 300 pounds on those legs all the. Well, 300 pounds is a lot bigger than me, right?
That's a little one.
I hear you. That's specifically cows, though. Like I feel like if I were to tell you,
sorry,
I'm trying to think of a good animal that's smaller than me that you think would kick my ass. Like I don't want to go chimp. We've been there too many times before. I think you'd be on my team against a fox or something that's too small.
You could definitely beat up a fox. You could beat up if you had like a stick that was, you know, like a mop handle. You could take like a coyote.
The animals that I've been able to handle, right, have not been superhuman. You know, my dogs.
Which animals have you handled?
Dogs,
your domesticated
rabbits.
Dogs who are your slaves?
Rabbits.
Like God itself. They're like, that's God. If I pull too hard, he might just snap his fingers and make me.
And birds.
The guy won't
a
give me
lot of
food
people
anymore.
think that like an eagle would kick their ass. I would grab an eagle by the talons and smack it like Bam Bam.
No, you would blindly grasp my eyes, as people ran away from the eagle swooping.
In
like
my
everybody
head,
is.
You know how when
when-
someone throws
when-
you
oh.
keys,
Eagle
like,
would fuck you
somehow
up.
keys are very easy to catch. Like even if you do it wrong and you like didn't catch them and they're on the outside of your fingers, you still caught it. You know, that I think that's how catching an eagle would be. I'd go up, I might get some legs, might get some wing, might get a little neck, who the hell knows? But you grab an eagle and you're like, I caught it by something, and now it's fucked because I'm 10 times its weight.
I think
it's
that
going
you're
to
right.
do some fucking damage.
I think that you might require a lot of stitches on your hands afterwards, but yeah, you would crush the eagle pretty much no matter how big of an eagle we're talking about. Although they have those that are like 6 or 8 foot wingspans in like South America. Like maybe not that guy. Maybe that guy you've got to like ground and pound.
I have a 6 foot wingspan with a whole lot of meat holding me down.
Him out.
Right? I'm like, I don't need to put a rear naked choke on a bird. I'm just way bigger and I think stronger.
But they're so much faster. Like it would, first of all, it has that element of it can fly incredibly fast. And so you're going to be on the ground, and let's give you the benefit of the doubt that you see this. It's a very sporting eagle. And so it comes in straight on. And so you're standing there in eagle fighting position, which I imagine to be hardly differentiable from a blind panic. Like that. And it'll come in hot. It's going to come in with those talons out. You're going to put your hands out. Hopefully one of those talons doesn't punch right through your palm right off the start.
Oh, it can't do that.
And hopefully, no, it would fuck you up badly.
I'm not saying I won't get scratched. I just don't think it'd puncture right through the back of my hand.
What I'm saying, okay, then even then, let's say, I was saying best case scenario is it gets stuck in your hand, because then it's a little bit further away at least, and it's going to take it a split second to realize it can now peck your face to smithereens. But if you don't catch those talons, they're going to hit you in the face of the chest. They're going to fuck you up. It's going to remove an eye. Its beak is going to be coming down too. Whop, 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 whop. Like, it's just going to be a flurry of damage, and you will go so quickly from I'm a large bipedal ape and I will not be intimidated to like, like get this fucking bird off of me.
And that's where the fundamental difference is. Like, I just don't assign these superhuman like attributes to the other animals. Like cows don't feel pain. Eagles, you know, even though they're 1/10 my size, will destroy me and start ripping eyes out instantly. You know, like
cows do not feel. All right, so it's just huge. Like, and I have seen them like take gory injuries that I didn't do. They just happened to them.
Right.
And they don't cry or like go in a corner and like, oh, my titty's hanging off, ripped apart now because I jumped over a fence wrong. Like, she doesn't care. She's pissed. And I saw a guy. I've seen people get attacked by cows, and the cow like gets them down and like wallows them with the top of its head, like mushes them, and they'll stomp and they'll kick. And
now, cow's gigantic. Just for the listeners, I didn't say I could take a cow. Like they get, I think size matters, and I know that cows are herbivores, and they kind of, but there's just so much to it. They're gonna be strong, you know.
They crush.
In the same way that a really heavy guy has strong legs, you know, a cow is gonna have strength all over it because it carries itself around.
Yeah, and it's not even like an obese cow that's like, oh man, I'm really huffing and puffing. It's just big, you know, like it.
Yeah.
That, like, the only thing that keeps a cow from beating your ass is that for some, like, they're not bright and they're very afraid of us. And so like there's like 60,000 pounds of meat that could just trample you and retake the whole town if they knew if they had one ballsy bull who could rally them together. But no, they just, you know,
but
one
sadly,
guy,
you know,
like me, walks out
there's
there.
grates across the road, so what can you do?
Yeah, back to the farm.
If people don't know, like those little grates they put on the cows, like, dude, cows, you could totally walk on this. I get it, you have hooves, it's a little tricky, but this is not a showstopper if you would just put your mind to it. But for them, it is.
Remarkably low ambition animals.
That's a great way to phrase it.
Nothing to achieve. At least, like, you know, desert creatures and Arctic creatures, you know, a lot of ambition. They always have to be doing something to survive. They'll get provided beautiful fields of grass by kind humans to eat.
So you should definitely mute this, because this is the best quality I could find of this. I've been looking for like a minute and a half.
Full on mute.
And the other. Yeah, you don't want to hear any of this. It's just like silly music.
Okay.
And none of the original audio.
Called Eagle Attacking Sloth HD.
All right. Ready, set, play. All right. There's a sloth moving slowly.
Color me surprised. The audio's not so bad. I was wrong. You give it a little audio.
A sloth in the open is
the sloth really taking his time.
As they're known to do.
They are one to do.
They are. I'm told that when sloths move that slow, they're terrified. I read it on the internet.
Oh.
Well,
he had a right to be terrified.
Yep.
He has been snatched.
I wonder right now if he's picking up the pace at all, or if he's just like, no.
He's doing that thing that like small dogs do when you pick them up out of the pool, where they just keep paddling.
Really slow though.
Yeah, really slow. Man, you've got to be livid at Mother. If those things had sentience, they'd be furious at their lot in life.
I want to know what happens next.
Are fast as shit.
React as soon as they touch the sloth. Immediately,
it'll kill it and feed it to its babies, right?
Yeah,
the rear talon is driven through its skull.
Driven into the sloth's skull.
So it is dead right away.
It said its impact nearly always results in death.
Birds of prey are the ultimate airborne predators.
But I don't think it can get through my skull.
Lightning fast, and
Yeah, you
I-
got a much bigger skull than a sloth based on, you know, my knowledge of sloth skulls.
I got that Homer Simpson thing going on. Dude, he'll hardly get through my hair gel. Let's be fucked.
He's coming at you with a double thumb.
He comes away with a bunch of woody hairs behaving like splinters in his paw. He's or his talon, like shit. Woody got
If you
me.
wear a motorcycle helmet, like even that level of rudimentary protection, you'll fuck that eagle up. You'll get some arm and chest cuts, but motorcycle helmet, that thing's it's done.
I wonder
Tools.
how
Probably because it'll like break its talons on the helmet because it won't be smart enough. Intellect is our finest.
in that game we've been playing, like that, there's 3 different tiers of helmet, and the first helmet you find is the motorcycle helmet, and it's like, yeah, I guess it's better than nothing. I guess it's like a real life scenario. You'd be like, it is better than nothing. like I can totally imagine putting that thing on.
Unless you need visibility or hearing.
Yeah.